Oh shit! I want to start off this video by saying I'm okay. I'm a functioning member of our society, and I'm a decently normal-ish individual. Although this might sound completely ridiculous, realize that I'm being completely, 100%, absolutely serious here. That being said,
this game makes anyone look like a psychopath.
Blades and Sorcery is one of the many staples in VR, being one of the first games that I had actually purchased on my Vive, and actually being a very, very old video that's currently on this channel from about 3 or 4 years ago. Now I know that this game has been out forever, and I know for a fact that there's probably several upon several of different reviews for every single update. Now, although this isn't the first review, nor the last, you haven't heard me talk about it. Yet, although I've been following this game since its release in 2018, to this day, it is still pumping out enough content, as well as getting supported with user-generated content and mods, that I'm still considering it to be one of my main games to this day, as well as being one of the best VR games on Steam, while considering it to be one of the best VR games, period. This is the kind of the direction that I had hoped Bone Labs would take, and I guess Stress Level Zero probably felt the same as well, but so far the results have so far been meh. But for those of you who don't know, it's a VR fantasy sword fighting game, known for its impressive physics, and now I can say graphics, and definitely gore. Although this is definitely the game that's collecting enough data to put its players on an FBI watch list. It's honestly one of the most wild powerhouse fantasy games that I've ever played. That absolute giga chad that you play in a typical RPG or MMORPG when you're max level and basically wiping out level 1s is basically the same feeling, except you get to experience it in VR. Or I guess in a sense, the only leveling system is your reaction time and properly learning to fight, kind of? But it's not like you have to work your way up to any sort of powers. You're just able to just giga chat opponents from the very start. So monetizing has now just become an available thing for this channel, and I already know for a fact that this bitch ain't getting nowhere near that YouTube ad money. So I think I might be free to swear, unless I censor everything. I'm only really gonna do because it's funny, I think. I'm just making editing a bitch for me right now, aren't I? Warp Frog has been slowly implementing update after update, which took the game from feeling like a tech demo with very good physics into an actual game with possible lore behind it. As of the time of this video, they have the player origins update, which firstly adds a lot more races to the game as opposed to just one white dude or white girl. Thankfully! And it even gives a bit of the background to the origins of your character. I'm pretty sure they're not really having like much of a lore heavy game in general, and they're kind of just like leaving it to the player's own interpretation. Kind of like D&D vibes-ish in a sense. But aside from that, I can actually make someone who looks a hell of a lot similar to me. Or at least how I wish I looked. This is just nice because like all sorts of different players can create all sorts of different characters now and create whatever the hell they feel like, as opposed to being limited to just like one specific type of character. They said that they'd be adding physics-based swimming into the game, which I think would be insane to add since it brings so much more immersion to the game. Because as of right now, whenever you touch water, you just kind of sink. Which is cool as hell because they're actually going to be implementing that into the dungeons. And eventually you're going to have underwater areas in the procedurally generated dungeons. As cool as it is, just imagine how funny it's actually going to be in reality. They're also going to be adding breakable objects, which I think will fulfill some next level WWE dreams for some people. But this game has to be one of my all-time favorites just because of the constant updates and attention to detail that Warp Frog adds to the game, as well as next level community support in order to make this one of the best VR titles possible. Now, it's been a decent chunk of time since I've actually played this game, but randomly on my For You page on TikTok, I got a bunch of Assassin's Creed VR mods in Blades and Sorcery, put out there by somebody named Demo Akuro VR, which I hope his content's popping off, by the way, because that shit is so well made. But essentially, they just made a series of like several of your favorite assassins, Ezio, Connor, Altair, and so much more coming, just kicking ass. But like, these videos were so well edited that it kind of just made me think like, oh fuck, I want to do that. Shh. Nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know. And in terms of doing that, here's the best part about Blades and Sorcery. It's unironically one of the best Star Wars VR games, even though it isn't a Star Wars game. Or you can copy shit from Chivalry, you can feel like Kratos from God of War.
Oh my god, these look so good. What does it do? Oh, that is such a cool way of using these. Oh,
or even go into the world of Dark Souls with mods. And I also can't forget, at one point, I was literally Batman, fighting Arkham villains in Arkham City. It was fucking sick. There's just so much depth that the community has added with these mods, and like they've helped slowly develop the game, which makes this game so badass because it's continuously playable, even though it came out in 2018. Jesus Christ! So I ended up downloading the mods for the Assassin's Creed style of gameplay that I wanted to play today. With there being a slightly scuffed element of stealth in their dungeons mode already built into the game, this made the feeling of becoming an assassin all that more badass. They had several different types of hidden blades from various characters, additional weapons that they made.
Oh, it's a fucking electric whip? Oh.
Models from games and everything that you could possibly think of and more. So essentially, even more reasons to put a person on a watch list. Are you okay? Boop. Boop. Okay, you're not okay. I'm technically quoting myself from my very old YouTube video, but this isn't the type of game that I would want to hear somebody's been playing for like 6 hours on end locked up in a basement without seeing the sun or any other individuals, because I would genuinely be scared of them. I can only hope that like a game like Bone Labs gets this much support and love to the point where it's just continuously updated and continuously modified to make it even better than it could ever be. And Blade and Sorcery is a good example of where Bone Labs can get in terms of like user-generated content. I'm recording shit like literally right now.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
No, I'm doing B-roll. I'm doing B-roll. You're good. You're good.
Video.
You're in, okay?
Goddamn video.
And even though it came out in 2018, there's been such a long road in like what they have developed and what they've upgraded, from the combat system to the animations to the graphics and so much more.
Hi.
Overall, for as much fun as I have on the game, I doubt it's ever gonna be dethroned from my top 3 as long as it keeps on getting the community and developers support that it so deserves.
Playing, I need to know. Can I do a dual assassination? Oh, both of you were mad.
Warp Frog seems to be pretty transparent on what's going on in terms of the updates and movement to the game, and I can't wait to see where they continue to take this title. So far, I know that Crystal Hunt is going to be a thing soon, so there's probably going to be a video on that whenever it comes out. And I know that they have a thick-ass roadmap in terms of the plans that they have for the next few years of development. I think in 2019, they had plans maybe up until 2022, 2024. That might be a stretch of what I'm saying, but I know that they had an insanely long roadmap in the case of like what they wanted to do. And they just showed the community. They weren't shy at all. They said, this is where the game's going to be going. This is what we're going to advance in the game. And there's just so much more to come. I'll probably just put a picture up of what the roadmap they said was, because I'm pretty sure they keep on going back to that Steam page and updating it for plans that they have in the future or additional things that they wanted to add or revamps of certain things, or if things needed to be pushed. They are transparent and they are fucking good at it. This definitely isn't the first for a Blade and Sorcery video, and it sure as hell won't be the last as well, especially with how major each and every update seems to be, so stay tuned. Yeah, but if you wanted to see some of the action live on stream, or even a showcase of the mods, or even suggestions on how I could fight some people, then feel free to come onto my stream, which is going to be live this Sunday, or I guess technically, would I post it today? Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure it would have been posted today. Anyways, this Sunday, which is today, I guess, at 5 p.m. EST, so feel free to jump down there, and link is in the description. Once again, thanks for watching the video. I hope you drank some water today, and if you didn't, I will personally hunt you down and make sure you're properly hydrated with water.
Hydrate, you fuck! Hydrate!
Don't forget to like, leave. Is this technically considered a God of War spoiler? Kinda.